Hey there guys, this is Chef Chris, and today we are making chicken Caesar salad with homemade croutons. Now this isn't your regular croutons, these are cinnamon raisin bread croutons. They are delicious. A couple of weeks back I had some cinnamon raisin bread, didn't have any croutons for salad, so I was like what the heck, and they turned out amazing. So sweet and spicy, goes great with any salad. Alright, so yesterday I baked up a loaf of cinnamon raisin bread and left it out overnight to pretty much get hard and get a little bit stale. You don't want to use fresh bread for this recipe because the breads are going to get a little mushy, they're going to break apart. Just not a good idea. I sliced those up into nice crouton sizes and I put those aside. Alright, now in a bowl I have about 4 cloves of garlic I have in a crusher that I minced up. And to that I added a whole stick of butter. You don't have to use it all, it just depends. I ended up using it all, but just see and adjust on how much you need. Alright, we're going to drizzle that right over the croutons and give it a nice stir and repeat. Make sure every single crouton has a little bit of butter and some aren't really moist and some are dry. Alright, to that we're also going to add some fresh grated Parmesan cheese. I ended up using about a cup here. Again, I repeated just like the butter. Mixed it in, gave it a stir, added some more. Mixed it up, gave it a stir. Make sure everyone has a little bit of Parmesan cheese. Alright, and now to that we are going to add my favorite seasoning, which I add in everything, cayenne pepper. I've added it pretty much in every recipe, except for the cake pops. Which, come to think of it, I should have tried some. A little spicy, a little sweet would have been nice. Alright, so we're going to repeat that process, just like the butter and just like the Parmesan cheese. Give it a nice stir. Alright, I also added just a little bit of fresh cracked black pepper, just I'm a pepper fan. Alright, so I'm going to put that on a baking sheet. The most important thing here is to make sure they are all in single layers. You don't want any of them stacking on top of each other. You want them all single layers pretty much. All my single layers, all my single layers, all my single layers, all my single layers. Now put your forks up. It's a little catchy, isn't it? Let that butter go ahead and soak on into the croutons. While those were soaking, we ran to the oven, set the oven for 350 degrees, and once it beeped, we're going to toss them in and set that oven for the timer for about 15 minutes. That's for the first round. Alright, now we're going to start off with making some homemade Caesar dressing. If you haven't had Caesar dressing from scratch, it's delicious, very simple to make, and beats the store brands for sure. Alright, so in a bowl we have 2 cloves of garlics that I had in the crusher. To that we're going to add the juice of 1 whole lemon and some anchovy paste, which looks like a little bit more like anchovy poop. But I do buy the anchovy paste because it lasts for months in the fridge and I don't really use anchovies that much. Alright, to that we're also going to add a nice squeeze of Dijon mustard. Definitely use Dijon, don't use the yellow mustard, it won't work in this recipe, so stick with Dijon. We're also going to get a nice squeeze of mayonnaise, a little squeeze of mayonnaise, not too much, and a good dash of Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire. So many people, so many different ways to say that. I just try to say it pretty fast so I don't sound stupid. Worcestershire sauce. Alright, to that we're going to add a whole egg. Some people add just the egg yolk. Some people are afraid of raw eggs, so you can omit that if you like. As long as your eggs are fresh, it's not a big deal. We're going to season that with some fresh cracked black pepper and some cayenne pepper. Going to go ahead and give that a nice little stir. And to that we're going to add some fresh grated Parmesan cheese. Go ahead and mix that in as well. And once that's whisked in, we have one more ingredient to drizzle in, and that's extra virgin olive oil. The trick is not to pour it all in at once. You want to give it a little squeeze, add more, give it a little squeeze. You're going to do that for about a minute or two until you have a good consistency and give it a taste. See if it tastes perfect like Caesar dressing. Alright, I ran to the oven. The 15 minutes were up. I go ahead and take those croutons out and give them one more little dusting of fresh grated Parmesan cheese just for the last little bit of flavor you'll have in there. We're going to set that oven for 10 more minutes. And I actually took them out about a minute earlier because I like my croutons not too hard. I want them to be a little crispy on the outside, but actually a little soft on the inside, so you know they're homemade for sure. When those 10 minutes are up, actually 9 minutes, I go ahead and took them on out, and they were perfect. Set them aside to cool down. Alright, now well, not a plate, I actually use the wrapper from Albertsons. We have a skinless, boneless chicken breast here. We're going to season that generously with some salt, as you saw, and some fresh cracked black pepper, and of course flip it over and do the other side. Alright, now in a saute pan, we have a good little helping of extra virgin olive oils again. Go ahead and make sure that heats up. I have the heat here to about probably medium high to get that heat nice and hot. Go ahead and give it a little tester right there, and I was good. So we're going to place that the top side down. Make sure, because that's the part that's going to get the most color, and that's the presentation part, so you want to make sure it looks more beautiful. We're going to go ahead and give that a flip. And now for a little trick. I taught this to my grandmother. She has a very big problem of drying out her chicken breast. Here's a little trick. If you pour some nice chicken stock to about halfway, we're gonna cook that on medium heat for about 13 minutes, 13 to 14 minutes, and you will never have a dry chicken breast. It's a great little trick. All right, while I put that aside, I let it rest. I go ahead and drizzle it in a little bit of that Caesar dressing with that romaine lettuce, and I'm about to slice up my chicken breast. I let this rest, of course, for about 5 minutes. You don't want to cut it, but look at that. You see that juice? Gorgeous. Now, lucky me, I'm also the taste tester. So going to give that chicken a little slice. Gonna get a piece of that lettuce, a nice crouton in there, and those croutons work great in there. They're sweet with the raisin, they're spicy with the cayenne, they're salty with the Parmesan cheese. It was just delicious. Alright guys, well thank you so much for watching. If there's any recipe you guys would like to learn how to make, let me know. I'll be more than happy to do it. And once again, enjoy guys. Thank you.